Hey, so welcome back, students. In this problem, we're going to go ahead and dive in using the short method. I've got another problem written for you. That problem is the following. How many grams of CH3OH would be produced when 53 grams of H2 react in the following balanced reaction? So notice here at the very top, above the table, you see the balanced reaction. We know that 1 mole of carbon monoxide reacts with 2 moles of hydrogen gas going to form 1 mole of CH3OH. And so now let's go ahead and look at the problem and identify all the areas that tell us information that we can then apply into the table and then begin to solve this problem. First off, we want to make sure that we begin by making sure that we go through and apply our dividers for each of the columns. Every time that we see an arrow, we're going to go ahead and put a line down the middle. Every time we see a plus sign, we're going to put a line down the middle, or down that where that plus sign is. Since we only have one plus sign in this entire reaction and one equal sign or one arrow, we only get 2 divisions here. Notice on the left hand side, we've got the rows have their own row heading. That means that the very first row is the division for grams, the second one is for molar mass, and the third row is for moles. So in this particular problem, since we are given the information of grams for H2, we need to begin there, and since we're trying to find grams, so here's the problem here at the very top, how many grams, we need to make sure that we go in here and we identify these areas appropriately. So first off, let's find out what it is we're trying to find. What is the unknown? So we're trying to find how many grams of CH3OH we've got. So here's my question mark. I want to find that. But I also have to begin with what I already know. And in this particular problem, what I know is that I begin with 53 grams of H2. And so I'm just going to go ahead and write that number here, 53 grams of H2. Now the next step for us is we actually need to first find the molar mass so that we can then find the number of moles. And so let's go ahead and do that now. And the molar mass for hydrogen, if we do that problem there, we're going to find that we're going to have to find the mass of hydrogen, which is 1.008. And we're going to have to multiply that times 2. And the reason it's times 2 is because if you kind of look at this section here, we notice that we've got 2 hydrogens right here. So we need to do that. And that means that the answer here for at least the molar mass of hydrogen for this particular column, we're going to get 2.016 grams per 1 mole of H2. And we do the same thing for the CH3OH, and so we're going to take the mass of the 1 carbon, 4 hydrogens, and 1 oxygen. If we do that and find the molar mass for this particular compound is the following. And that is 32.041 grams per 1 mole of CH3OH. And so what we've got to do now is we just go ahead and go forward and we take the numbers that we've just found. We're going to take the mass of grams provided to us for hydrogen. We're going to divide it by the molar mass, and that'll give us the number of moles, which we can then use to find the answer for grams using the short method. So we'll take the 53 divided by 2.016, and if we do that, that answer comes out to, and so here the answer that we're going to get is the following. We're going to get 26.28, and this is going to be moles of H2. Now we use this in the short method to figure out what the answer, or the number of moles at least, for the CH3OH are going to be. Notice that the coefficients for both of these compounds, rather actually not that one, the coefficients for the hydrogen and the coefficient for the CH3OH are not the same. So what we need to do is we need to take this number here, the 26.28, we're going to multiply it by 1 first, then we're going to divide by the 2, and then that'll give us the answer for the moles for this particular problem. If we do that, we come up with the following. We come out with 13.14 moles of CH3OH. Notice when we were figuring out the moles of hydrogen gas, we divided 53 by 2.016 because we're going in the down direction. So if you're moving down, you divide, but if you're going up, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and multiply these two numbers. So we're going to take 13.14, multiply that by 32.041, and that'll give us the number of grams for CH3OH. And that answer there is 421, let me just make sure I get this right, 421.17 grams of CH3OH. And that is how you use the short method to kind of make things a little bit easier. You're always welcome to use the long method if you like, but the short method is a lot faster, and it's going to get you to the answer a lot quicker, correctly, most of the time. All right, so keep on practicing, and we'll see you next time.